Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, Chairman Schwartner, members of the committee. My name is Greyson Gee. I serve as a technology policy analyst with the Texas Public Policy Foundation. And before I would begin, I'd just like to thank Representative Capriglione, Senator Hall, and especially you, Chairman Schwartner, for bringing up this bill. It's a crucial bill for small businesses in the state of Texas, and I know business owners greatly appreciate it. For as long as humans have been making things, we've been repairing them. Repair has been understood as a fundamental component of ownership. When you own something and it breaks, well, you fix it. Access to repair, however, has been gradually eroded in our modern day through deliberate corporate strategies of planned obsolescence and repair restrictions. The shift toward viewing products as disposable rather than repairable didn't happen by accident. Since the Great Depression, manufacturers have increasingly designed products with limited lifespans, while simultaneously making repairs more difficult through digital locks, proprietary software, and restrictive service agreements. This forces consumers to rely solely on manufacturer-authorized repair services, often at inflated prices, or to simply discard and replace, like Senator Hall mentioned, products that could otherwise be repaired. House Bill 2963 addresses the fundamental tension between consumer property rights and manufacturer-imposed repair restrictions. The bill would require manufacturers to make available on fair and reasonable terms the documents, parts, and tools needed for independent repair providers and product owners to fix their digital electronic equipment. Importantly, House Bill 2963 includes thoughtful provisions that protect manufacturers' intellectual property and trade secrets. It also provides reasonable safety exceptions for critical infrastructure, medical devices, and other specialized equipment where additional considerations are warranted. This bill isn't about forcing companies to give away their intellectual property, as some may claim. It's about restoring the balance between manufacturer rights and consumer ownership within the context of long-standing property rights and the common law. When Texans buy a product, they should truly own it, and that includes the right to repair. Thank you.
Chairman, so I guess this is for anybody who wants to ask, maybe start with TPPF. So I really like the concept, but I'm kind of struggling with, if I understand the bill, we're going to be telling every manufacturer of every product in the world that they have to provide access and all these things to Texas.
Yes, sir. It applies specifically to products that are sold in the state of Texas. So if a manufacturer does business in this state, it would apply to them.
So if I go buy a new big screen TV, or if whoever the manufacturer of that is going to have to make that available to, doesn't that seem pretty broad?
Well, many companies like Apple and others have begun to expand their proprietary access to repair for their consumers. The parts and manuals that are specifically related to consumer electronics are becoming more and more available. These are things that they have, and so this bill would simply say, this is something that you need to provide to your consumers. Because during our time of research at TPPF, as we were focusing on this issue, we came to understand that repair has always been understood as a component of ownership. And so as you navigate the tension between the intellectual property rights of the manufacturers who designed and developed these products and the rights of the consumer to own fully the products that they purchase, that tension is best solved by this type of solution, a right to repair solution, because it acknowledges the bill provides exemptions for
Do any other states have this kind of requirement?
Yes, sir. Several others do have this type of requirement.
Which states?
Colorado, California. There's other states that and each of those have different emphases. That some of them are more agricultural focused.
Are there any kind of Republican states that do that? I'm real serious. I mean, it just seems kind of, I mean, I get the concept and I get frustrated. I got to throw my iPhone away too, but it just seems that you're putting out a pretty big edict and there's so many unforeseen consequences and exceptions and what's proprietary, what's not. I mean, and it just seems like it may squelch a lot of business instead of expanding opportunity.
Well, I think, with due respect, the language in the bill is pretty strictly tailored, and it provides clear exemptions, like you've mentioned, to ensure that there are no risks to safety or liability.
So, am I going to have to prove that?
Prove what?
I manufacture a product and I'm in another state, or I'm in Texas, doesn't matter, I guess, or I'm in another country. And so, and I just want to sell it in Texas, but I don't want to provide that information. Am I going to have to prove, who do I prove that it's proprietary to? Am I going to have to, am I going to have to respond to challenges, or do I just go do it, and then when someone challenges me, I'm in a lawsuit in Texas and got to come show?
If memory serves, I believe you prove it to the Attorney General.
Thank you. A couple little things. It says the bill would not apply to information technology used in certain things. When it says it does not apply to home appliances that have digital electronic equipment, does that mean some sort of proprietary coding, or are we talking about an oven with a timer on it? Anybody know?
You were speaking specifically to appliances in general?
I'm just speaking it says in the bill summary, it doesn't apply to home appliances that have digital electronic equipment. I'm trying to figure out what this does apply to, because my oven has a timer, which is digital.
So I think some of if I remember correctly, the latest language does allow for certain like countertop appliances and those type of things. But it wouldn't apply to those, because despite the discussion here, I do think the bill is specifically tailored. I think it's specifically tailored to consumer electronics. And the motivation behind...
But not video games.
Yes, sir.
Which it also perplexes me. So for consistency's sake, I love the whole concept, but what does it apply to? What doesn't it apply to?
It's a great question.
I'm sorry to interrupt, and I really would like to let him finish his answer, Mr. Chairman, if it's all right. I interrupted you. I apologize, but video games are exempted. What's going on?
Well, in working through the years-long stakeholder process with Chairman Capriglione, I think that the intention was to provide the closely tailored language that's before the body, the committee today, which would satisfy concerns broadly and provide the beginning steps towards the right to repair for citizens in the state. So you're right that there are exemptions and various carve-outs, I guess you could say. But the primary objective is for consumer electronics. So your laptop, your phone, your Apple Watch, your batteries in those, the screens in those. That would be the intention behind this bill.
But not electronic keypads.
Keypads?
But not electronic keypads, apparently. Okay.
Doesn't include every car manufacturer in the market.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, Senator, from my understanding, the motivation behind including the MOU language in the bill was to provide incentive for those remaining car companies who are not a part of the latest MOU, because it doesn't specify a particular MOU. It specifies any of the latest MOUs that might be out there. And the gentleman's correct that there are several car manufacturers, Rivian, Tesla, and others who are not a part of that MOU. But because they're not a part of that MOU, this bill would apply to them. And so the objective then would be to incentivize their joining the MOU so that repair is expanded to the consumers that purchase cars from those companies.
So you're saying this is precisely the opposite of your colleague up here at the bench.
I'm just speaking from having been involved in the stakeholder process.
That it would apply. Tesla.
If you are not a part of the MOU, this bill would apply.
Interesting.